All right, guys, I am going to try the PlusThis feature, Modern Forms, for the first time here. This is a relatively new tool for them. It is a brand new tool for me. This is literally my first time using it, so my hope is that I can take the blog sign up and the referral partner form that are currently native Infusionsoft Web Forms on my website and use this tool to make them look good and to make them mobile responsive, and hopefully I'll be able to do that without too much friction. So wish me luck. Let's see how it goes. All right, so the goal here is to set up the Modern Forms feature. I am logged into my PlusThis interface. I've never used this feature before, but we're going to see how it goes. So I'm going to click Create here. We need to select which form. Make sure your web form and campaign are both published. Okay, so it is. This is my campaign. It is called Referral Partner Application. And just so you guys can see where this lives on my website, this is the page where people apply to be a Monkeypod partner. And I am using the native Infusionsoft form, which obviously just doesn't look great. If you have used Infusionsoft forms, they're somewhat limited in their design. So the goal here is to level it up using the Modern Forms feature of PlusThis. So referral partner application, there it is. And then we select a style. Okay, so it looks like they have some default styles. That looks pretty straightforward. Let's see what our other options are. Okay, so a little bit of color there. Wonder what Cosmo is. I'll flip through a few of these. Not Cyborg. Not Darkly. United. Let's go with this one. Let's go with United. Okay, web form settings. If you just have to configure web form settings, will continue to apply. Okay, so we will call this referral partner application form, and then let's click save. Okay, that's it. So the feature setup is really simple. It just gives me a new code. So let's copy this code. It looks like you could also use the hosted version of this form, but I do want this on my website. So let's go over to the page. Here's the form as of right now. I have the editing tab open here. So I think it should be this snippet. Looks like I was using the Infusion Press WordPress plugin, which obviously, you know, wasn't doing a whole lot for me if this is the way the form looked. So let's try it with the PlusThis code. Save and exit. And then let's go ahead and update this page. Okay, so that is now live. Let's refresh over here. Just as a reminder, it goes from looking like this to looking like this. So partner details, mailing address, login details. Looks pretty good. It's got a little bit of padding at the top that we don't need. So a couple of cosmetic things to clean up here. Padding on either side, it appears. Let's see if I can fix those quickly. Okay, so we refresh this one more time. Let's see if that snugs it up. Well, there's still some extra padding there, but largely the form looks, worlds better. I like that the fields are a little bit bigger, easier to use. I like that they highlight when you're typing into them. I like that the headers and the labels have all been, cleaned up and, uniformly formatted. Yeah, so it looks pretty good here. That is really straightforward. Let's do one more here. So let's do another tool. So let's go to configured tools here, and we'll add a tool. And this time, let's do Modern Forms again. But this time I want to do my blog opt-in. So blog opt-in, we'll see what this one is called. Blog updates, Monkeypod blog updates LP. I think it's this one. Yep, Monkeypod or blog updates Monkeypod sidebar. So that would be the form that lives over here. Blog form, sign up, first email, updates, please. Okay, so this, as you can see, you know, again, doesn't look great. It looks fine, but it's never looked great. So what I'd like to do is swap that out. So let's go ahead and select. It's called blog updates Monkeypod sidebar. So blog updates Monkeypod sidebar. And then for our style, let's go with United again, just for the sake of simplicity. So blog sidebar modern form, save, embed on my website. So we'll copy that code. And then I believe that the sidebar is in the widgets section here. That's my understanding. So let's see if we can quickly get that updated. Text, here we go, sign up form. Okay, sign up below, Infusion Press. So we'll just paste that code in, save. And let's go back to the monkeypodmarketing.com/blog. Let's see how this bad boy looks. Not bad. There's still a little padding on either side of this, so I'm curious about that. And I don't love the CAPTCHA popover that kind of blocks that button, but I do love how quickly you can clean those forms up. Okay, so I don't know if you could tell this, or maybe I'll end up editing it so I don't even show it, but originally when I published the Modern Forms tool, the forms looked better, but I was just a little bit disappointed because, well, they didn't look perfect. The margins around it were just too big, and there was the Google reCAPTCHA was like overhanging on the button here. So I have fixed it now. You can see the form looks pretty good here. And if we go to the partners application, you can see that it fits in this space a little better. It's not pushed down. It's level in this column. Yeah, so I have done a couple of small tweaks, and I wanted to just kind of run over those to make sure that you were clear, because part of the nature of using a tool or a feature for the first time is that you're not going to get everything right. But here it is just a couple of hours later, and it looks pretty good, and I'm pretty pleased with where I'm at. So the first thing I did was post in the PlusThis user group. I said, hey, I'm looking for advice. Here is, the issue. There's all this gap here, and, I'm not in love with that. And pretty quickly I realized that one of the issues was me. Infusionsoft Forms have a setting here. Don't use Google reCAPTCHA for spam bot detection. So you can actually check that box, which will disable it. I believe that's available for everyone, but they may... this may be a product of me having an older version of Infusionsoft, so I don't actually know if this is an option for new people. So if you don't see that there, it could be that it's been removed for your Infusionsoft version. But for me, that was a pretty simple fix, and it allowed me to remove the reCAPTCHA that was kind of hanging over the button on the blog page. The second piece that I wanted to do was have this fill the column and remove the padding around either side of it. So, whoops. Let's do the blog here. So on the sidebar here, there was just a bunch of space around this form that I didn't need. So I posted with that screenshot here in the group, and very quickly I got a response from Todd Stoker, who said, hey, put this in the custom CSS field under the additional style options. It'll remove the outer margin and padding. And I don't even know if you guys noticed this, but because I sure didn't. But as we were configuring this setting here, I chose the form, I selected a style, and that was it. I didn't realize that I could click on this gray bar, the additional style options there. Once you do, You can adjust the label and input size. You can, hide or display the placeholders. You can move the button around that's at the bottom of that. You can change the button size, and you can add custom CSS, which just means that you can really customize the look and feel of these if you know CSS. Of course, I don't. But pretty quickly here, Todd from PlusThis was able to give me some code. I was able to put that in and save this. And I don't know if you need to do this, but I updated. I re-grabbed the embed code and I plugged it in on my site here. And just like that, it looks pretty good. So I'll be honest. When I first used this feature, it was better than it had been, but I just felt like it was a little bit clunky, and the whole reason was because I skipped right over the additional settings option there. So once you have access to that, really there's no limit to the way that you can make these look and feel. I love that they kind of give you an out-of-the-box starting theme, and then you can personalize it from there, either with your own CSS skills or with snippets of code you steal from people who are smarter than you. So wanted to call that out because to me that made a big difference in my confidence in using these forms on my site. Okay, and just like that, we have 2 brand new web forms live and loaded on my website. They look infinitely better. I think we can both agree, and it didn't take that long. The Modern Forms feature works pretty much as advertised. It is dead simple. The only hitch in this process, as you saw, was me overlooking the additional settings section. Obviously, there's a couple of features that you can configure or personalize there. There's also an ability to add custom code, which I ended up doing to remove the padding around the form just to make it fit a little better. But all things said and done, I'm pretty pleased. And if you are already a PlusThis user, then you should totally consider leveraging the Modern Forms tool for your own business. If you are not yet a PlusThis user, then use the link below my video and get signed up. This is one of a number of tools that they offer that I use regularly, but that businesses all over the place use to simplify and maximize the way they're using Infusionsoft. So check it out, and if you have requests for other PlusThis features I should explore or other tools you want me to take for a test drive, this was a bunch of fun, and I'm wide open to it, so let me know. Hopefully you found it valuable. If you know someone who could benefit from this, feel free to share the video.